what are the things we discussed? And I request the first 10 people to join with us till the end. You unmute your mic and you join with us till the end.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Akash, number 2, number 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Till 22, you please unmute your mic. You please join with us till the end. Yes. Bino, Akash again, Amin, Ankit, Gupta, Bosch, Beladi, Arun Prabhar, Tulshan, please join with us till the end. Yes, my slides are visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. So far, what we have seen, we have given the introduction, and we were introduced the steam power plant, about the hydroelectric power plant, steam power plant, nuclear power plant. In the last class, we have seen the diesel power plant, and there are various circuits. And again, we will refresh the contents related to diesel power plant, and then we will move on to the today's title. And this is what the block diagram of diesel power plant. In the diesel power plant, there are 7 different circuits are available to have attention, and we'll see one by one. These are the circuits. Will first we will see the various potential various accessories which is available in the diesel power plant. This is fuel store tank and filter pump, all day tank. This is called as an all day tank. Then it is sent to the fuel is sent to the filter. Here we have the fuel injection pump. Here we have air filter. This is what the multi-cylinder diesel engine setup. In order to actuate the engine, we need the air supply from the. We need to provide the air supply. That is what happening through the air filter. We are getting the air from the atmosphere, and we are allowing them into the multi-cylinder diesel engine. And it was once everything is over, it was sent to the atmosphere through the silencer or muffler. In vehicles, it is called as a silencer. And other system we have is air compressor, starting air tank, and then it was sent to the cylinder diesel engine. The other circuit, we have the pump, spray tank, again pump. The hot water is circulated and to the diesel engine. And here we have the lubrication system, and we will see one by one. Through the diesel engine, what we are going to do, we are getting the rotary motion. That rotary motion is connected with the coupled with the generator. Once the generator is driven by the diesel engine, then we are getting the power. That is what the soul of the diesel power plant. And we'll see the system one by one. And in concerning the diesel power plants, diesel engines, whether it might be or a 2-stroke engine or it might be a 4-stroke engine. Nowadays, the 2-stroke engines are outdated. We are using only 4-stroke engine. According to the number of cylinders, these are classified into single cylinder or multi-cylinder engines. The diesel engines may have more than one cylinder, such as 4, 6, 8, and so on. Normally, the multi-cylinder diesel engines are used in the diesel power plants. And this was the illustration of diesel power plant. And the compression ratio. Compression ratio is the term which is related to inside the diesel engine. Once time permits, we will see the what is happening inside the diesel engine, and what is mean by the stokes, how we are getting the power, in which stokes we are getting the power, and what is the difference between petrol engine, diesel engine. Even it is not in our scope. Anyway, we'll see now to understand this diesel engine. We'll see at present. You please remember the compression ratio is 12 to 20, and at the end of the compression stroke, what we are getting the power, and the expansion we are getting in the piston, that the piston is connected to the rotary mechanism, that rotary mechanism is connected to the generator, so that we are getting the power from the generator. This is what this is the basic principle, basic working principle, and we'll see the one by one the various system. There are 7 different systems are available here. One is engine starting system. In the engine this is what the engine starting system. During cold condition, the engine won't start on its own, and it tries to the compression ratio has to vary during the cold condition due to the temperature drop in the atmospheric air. Therefore, what we need to do, we need to compress the air. Once it was before entering into the diesel engine, it was compressed through the compressor, and it was stored in the and it was sent to the multi-cylinder diesel engine through the starting air tank. And as I said earlier, the function of this system is to start the engine from the cold by supporting the compressed air. And the second system is fuel system. The pump draws diesel from the fuel storage tank and supplies into the small all-day tank through the filters. And here we have filter, a day tank, that is not to supply the fuel daily, and a overhead tank is provided. From the overhead tank, the fuel is supplied to the engine through another filter. In order to get away the sediments, we are providing different filters at different stage, and this is what happening in fuel system. This is what fuel system. This is what the fuel system. And air intake system, the air filter. The air filter is used to remove the dust from the incoming atmospheric air. The air filter may be of dry type, which is made of felt, wool, or cloth. And in oil bath type of filter, the air is swept over a bath of oil so that the dust particle get collected and it was sent to the diesel engine. And this was the third system. And concerning the fourth system, exhaust system, a silencer or a muffler is provided to reduce the noise pollution. And that was about the exhaust system. And the fifth system is engine cooling system. The temperature of burning gas in the engine cylinder may vary from 1500 degrees Celsius to 2000 degrees Celsius, and the water is circulated inside the engine to keep the temperature at a reasonable level. The hot water from the engine is cooled in the spray tank and recirculated using the pump. See here, a spray tank is provided, and the hot water a water jacket is provided around the diesel engine, and in order to transfer the heat from the engine, and the water is circulated, and we have a spray tank in order to reduce the temperature in the water. We have the pump in order to increase the pressure. We are providing the pump, and it was circulated. It removes the heat from the diesel engine. And the sixth system is this is what the fifth system, that is engine cooling system. This is what you need to explain during your examinations. And the sixth system is the engine lubricating system. Here we have the engine lubricating system, that is the sixth system. The lubrication is essential to reduce friction and wear of the engine parts such as cylinder walls and pistons. And engine lubricating system includes lubricating oil cooler and oil pump. We have pump, and the pump is not shown here. And the lubricating oil which gets heated due to the friction of the moving parts is cooled before recirculation. That is what happening in the engine lubricant system. And the seventh system is governing system. The governing system is also not included in the picture. The function of the governing system is to maintain the speed of the engine to run in a constant speed irrespective of the load on the plant. what happens when the load is increased? Assume you are providing a diesel generator to your home. What at one time, what you are trying to do, you are trying to switch on your AC. What happens? Suddenly the load increases. At due to this sudden increase of load, what we need to do, we need to maintain the constant speed in order to provide the constant power supply. At that time, what we need to do, we need to increase the fuel supply in order to run in a constant speed. That is what happening in the governing system. And these are the points you have to discuss during your examinations. Has 7 8 different systems, and along with the advantage and disadvantage, I will explain the advantage and disadvantage one by one. Advantage, concerning the advantage, the plant is very simple. See, the plant is very simple, and it is the installation, commissioning, and erection is quite easy, and it consumes less time when compared with the steam power plant and hydroelectric power plant. Whether in the case of both steam and hydroelectric power plants, it took very longer time for commissioning and erection. And then quick starting and easy pickup of loads are possible in a very shorter time, and the location of the plant is near the load center, and the plant operation is easy and requires minimum labor, and the efficiency at part loads does not fall so much as that the and that in the case of steam power plant, the efficiency may vary due to the load. Here that won't be a matter, and it can respond in a shorter time for varying loads without any difficulty, because we have a governing system, and fuel handling is easier, and no problem of ash disposal in the case of diesel power plant. The plant is smaller in size when compared with the steam power plant. The space required also minimal, and the efficiency, diesel plants operate at high overall efficiency than steam power plants, and the skilled labor are not required, and the diesel plant is more reliable compared to other plants. And when we have the advantage, it has even the adverse features, that is equally it has disadvantage. That is the plant capacity is limited to 50 megawatt, and the fuel cost is expensive more when compared with the coal. The maintenance and lubrication cost is high, and overloading. And see, in the case of steam power plant, can 20% overload also it can work, but in the case of diesel power plant, it won't be possible. And the noise is a serious issue, and we need to provide the appropriate muffler or silencer. And the life of the diesel power plant is less when compared to the thermal power plant. And that is what about the advantage and disadvantage. And the application, this is usually used as a standby power plant. It won't be a full-fledged power plant as when we are concerning about the hydroelectric power plant or steam power plant. It might be the standby plant, and it can be possible to work with the emergency plan. And when there is a peak load, at that time we can depend diesel power plant along with the steam power plant. And that's all about diesel power plant. Do you have any doubts with the diesel power plant? Any doubts with the diesel power plant? Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Yes. Shivashekaran. Tarunik.
Yes, sir.
Shivashekaran. Yes. Tarunika.
Yes, sir.
Tarunika, what happened in past Monday? There are the results of 5 different assembly. What happened in that? You please sum up, and we'll continue our session.
Sir, Mamta became the uh, CM of Bengal,
Okay.
and in Tamil Nadu, Stalin became the CM.
Okay.
And
Stalin not became. He is going to become.
he's going to become.
Okay. Mamta
In
yesterday itself,
Kerala,
Mamta taken charge. Okay. Other thing.
yeah. In Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan is going to become the CM.
Okay. In Assam, what happened in Assam?
I don't know, sir.
Anyone? Anyone?
Sarvanan Sonewal will retain, sir.
Retains. Which belongs to be a BJP, right?
Yeah.
As the CM is not decided yet, like anyone between Sarvanand Sonewal or Hemant Sharma.
But most probably Sarvanan Sonewal will retain.
Okay. In the last time, who led the Assam?
Sarvanan Sonewal. Sarvanan Sonewal was the CM, sir.
Sar Sarbananda Sonewal.
Sonewal, yeah.
Mujli.
He has
Sarbanand
been the like
Sonewal Mujli.
he
Yes.
was our sports minister also in the cabinet, but later on he became the chief minister of Assam, and right now
And given a different name. What was the name,
Sir,
gentlemen?
Hemant
Yes.
Sharma, who was health minister in last term, he is more powerful and he have more impact. Like this time, BJP have not declared his CM face before the election. So most probably, like in media, people are talking that he could be the next CM.
Oh. Around 73 seats won by NDA in Assam. Even the vote percentage is minimal when compared to UPA. It won around 73%. And okay, what happened in other state? Okay, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, West Bengal, Assam. What happened in Pondicherry? Pondicherry. Anyone from Tamil Nadu or Pondicherry, you please go ahead with the Pondicherry results. Again, NDA won around 16 seats in Pondicherry. The vote percentage is around 43, and that was in Pondicherry. Probably Rangasamy will lead Pondicherry. And BJP also seeking a cabinet in Pondicherry. That was the issue. And Tamil Nadu, 7th, that is tomorrow, MK Stalin will lead from tomorrow onwards. And DMK alliances got 158 seats in Tamil Nadu, and with the 45% of votes. And that's all about the assembly elections. And anyone, any other matter? Tanzania
The
2020. Shubhan Kumar, what happened the 2020?
The IPL are suspended because of COVID-19 outbreak.
Yes. This is the time to discuss about the COVID. When we are discussing about the elections, at that time also we need to conscious over the COVID. When we are talking about crickets, sports, at that time also we need to be very conscious about the cricket. See what happened. It was suspended, right? The number of persons affected by the COVID in various teams might be varies from Chupan
sure.
Kumar.
Two players of KKR were infected. Then like the other staffs of Chennai Super Kings were infected, sir. So they decided to halt right now, and later on they might decide to schedule it in UAE or somewhere. So
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is unfortunate that it was the people who affected by the COVID increases day by day, and you please conscious be aware. Those who are 18 plus, if the government is ready to provide the drug, you can take and you can be cautious with COVID SOP. And okay, we'll continue with today's session. Yes. Today we will see about the alternate source of energy. Under renewable, non-renewable, we need to conscious about the non-renewable source of energy, non-conventional power generating system, because the things which we discussed so far are depleting in nature, and it might be exhausted by the mid of next century, and that was the prediction by the various scientists. And even some different opinions are also there. Anyway, these are depleting in nature, and there won't be any second thought. It won't be depleting. It may be depleting. So what we need to do, we need to have an attention towards the non-renewable source of energy, because it is permanent type of energy source that we need to depend that is what the world conscious and have been engaged in search with the new non-conventional type of energy. But the renewable source of energy for the last few decades, the power potential from the renewable source in India, concerning India, and measures taken by the government develops some certain calculation with these alternate source of energy. Concerning solar energy, the India are capable of 35 megawatt solar energy in a square kilometer. The wind energy, we are getting 20,000 megawatt, and tidal energy 12,000 megawatt. Concerning geothermal, 10,000 megawatt, and other non-conventional type of energy is also available, which is titled as the ocean thermal energy conservation, that is 8,000 megawatt. The biogas might be 10,000 megawatt, and direct energy conversion system might produce 4,000 megawatt. And these are the some of the power potential from renewable source in India. And therefore we need to switch over from non-renewable into renewable. That is what the scenario. And it is interesting that the earth, concerning the earth atmosphere is a marvelous solar driven heat engine. We can call it as a solar driven heat engine. And the different forms of renewable energy on the earth are derived from the sun. The major source for us is sun, and strictly speaking, all forms of renewable energy on the earth are derived from the sun. And not only the solar energy, concerning all other energy also derived from the sun. Whether it might be the thing is, it may be an indirect source of energy. Concerning the wind energy, the tidal energy, and other biomass as ocean thermal might be the indirect source of energy from the sun. And the wind power is a form of solar power or solar related power, and a fraction of solar energy falling on the earth each day is converted into wind. And wind on the earth's surface is caused by unequal heating of land and water by sun. The difference in temperature gradient induce the circulation air. Therefore, we are trying to accumulate the energy with the aid of some turbines. It might be a wind turbine. And concerning the tides occurs due to the gravitational attraction of sea water by moon and sun. And the highest tide wave occurs when the earth, the sun, and the moon are in line, and approximately 94% of the earth is molten, and only the thin outer shell is solidified rock of thickness 150 kilometers. The temperature at the center of the Earth is around 3000 degrees Celsius. The crust of the Earth is an excellent insulator, allowing very little heat to reach the surface. The energy tapped from the Earth interior is known as geothermal. This is what the brief introduction about the classification of solar energy, and we'll move on to solar in detail. See, sun gives enormous energy. Sun gives enormous energy, and which might be 3.7 into 10 power 20 megawatt. See, assume 3.7 into 10 power 20 megawatt. Before that, this is what the basic information about the sun. The diameter of the sun is 1.39 into 10 power 9 meters, which is 120 times greater than the Earth, and the distance from the Earth and 93 million miles, and the various layers are composed in the sun. The outer layer is the photosphere, the effective black body temperature, which can the temperature might be around 6000 Kelvin, and this is what the other energy information, related information, is around 3.7 into 10 power 20 megawatt energy is dissipated. And when we are concerning about the Earth, which Earth only intercepts 1.7 into 10 power 11 megawatt. The solar radiation is reduced in intensity in the atmosphere by clouds, dust, and fog. See here, just a minute. Yes. Yes. Yes, someone please add these contents. See here, incoming solar energy is 100%. It was reflected by the atmosphere is 6%, and by the clouds, and by the reflected from the Earth's surface is 4%. Here around 30% are reflected. Here absorbed by the land is 51, and see here the absorbed by the clouds is 3%, absorbed by the atmosphere is 16%, and add this content 51, 11, 3 and 16. Around 54% is radiant phase. Around 30% radiant phase here. Yes. Tell me, what was the summation? Gaurav. See here, this is what the energy from the sun. We are getting very minimal. See, 3.7 into 10 power 20 megawatt is dissipated. Only we are getting 1.7 into 10 power 11, and what we can do, we can utilize this energy, whether it might be a direct or indirect. Some direct utilizations are, see here, the direct solar energy, solar water heater, solar cooker, and solar drivers. There are two different solar cookers are illustrated here. The solar energy is the radiation energy. It can be used for direct heating or conversion into electricity. This is what the solar heater, that is direct solar, a type of direct solar energy, and the top cover is made up of glass, and it can reflect. Sorry, it can reflect, and through the reflection is arranged in such a way that in order to get and at one particular point it can reflect. In that point we need to carry, we need to keep our things to heat, and that is what happening in the case of the solar water heater. See here, a box is provided. Inside the box is painted with a black color now to accumulate the heat energy. A glass is provided. The glass is inclined in such a way that it can get the solar energy, and it can concentrate on the vessel which is provided inside the tub, and through that we can utilize the solar energy. And this was the direct solar energy. It has its own disadvantage. The efficiency is very minimal. Therefore, which forces the scientists now to invent a new type of system, that is we were moved to photovoltaic cell. That is, photovoltaic cells are made up of semiconductor material like silicon, gallium, and when solar radiations fall on them, a potential difference is created, which causes flow of electron and which creates electricity. A group of solar cells joined together, which creates a solar panel, which harvests large amount of energy. And see here, the indirect solar energy plantation. The photosynthesis plant converts radiant energy into chemical energy, which in turn can be stored and used as a fuel in various forms. The fossil fuels such as oil and coal are also forms of indirect solar power. See here, the photovoltaic technology converts sunlight directly into electricity. The solar energy is fast becoming popular in rural and remote areas. In India, we are having various solar power plants across various states. We are having solar power stations, and we'll discuss a little in detail about the solar panel. See here, we have various steps: step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. Electric field is provided. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yes. See here, the protons are indicated with a plus symbol with a circle, and tightly held electron is circled with a negative, and free electrons given as a negative symbol, and circle with the blue color is an indication of location that can accept an electron. N type, N layer, and we have P layer. I'll explain one by one this. See, a direct conversion of the solar energy into electricity is done in the photovoltaic effect. The basic unit of photovoltaic system is solar cell. The solar cell is made up of a single crystal silicon. The solar cell is semiconductor device, and it generates voltage when sunlight falls on it. The power obtained in a daytime stored, and it can be used by the help of solar batteries. And the configuration of the solar cell to form a p-n junction semiconductor is shown here. And the silicon with added materials such as arsenic and phosphorus is called N-type, and N-type silicon. See, the silicon with arsenic or phosphorus, and or it might be called as a negative charge silicon. The silicon added with boron is called p-type. The p-type is in silicon with boron. This is called silicon with arsenic or phosphorus, and this is called positive charge silicon. P is positive charge, N is negative charge, and charge distribution near the p-n junction gives rise to an electric field, and hence a potential difference across the junction is identified. If an external load is applied, and this charge difference will derive a current through it. The current will flow so long as the sunlight keep generating the electron pairs, And this is what happening in the case of photovoltaic cell. And the DC electricity enters into the inverters. The inverters into DC electricity is around 120 watt. The AC current can be given to the panel in the house, and it was distributed through the appliances. And we are in such a way we are getting the power from the solar photovoltaic cell. Through the load difference, what happens in the electrical semiconductor, through the potential difference we are getting the power, and that is what we are getting the power through the photovoltaic cell. And when more solar energy is generated, it can be stored in the battery. As we see here, we are going to discuss about non-metering. See here, we are getting the power, and the power source is connected to the charge and controller, and in the battery system we are getting the DC power, and whether it might be converted into AC for our utilization. What happened when it is the battery is full and the excess electricity can be the exported back into the utility grid if your system is connected to it. And the utility supplied electricity can be drawn from the grid when not enough solar energy is produced. And what we are getting in two ways. When there is a power drop from the solar system, we are trying to use the power from the grid. When we are having the excess amount of power, at that time we are sending the power, we are exporting the power from our end. This is called non-metering. The two are offset, ensuring that you only pay for the additional energy you use from the utility company. This system is referred to as non-metering. When we are using excess energy, we need to pay. When we are giving the power, they has to pay to us for giving the power. This is called the non-metering. And some other informations related to India, and the postage stamp published by the India in order to explore the information related to the solar panel. This is what the postage stamp, and 5 rupees postage stamp is used to disseminate the information across the people. And around during 70s mid, solar photovoltaic program of the government of India is one of the largest program in the world, and relief offered by the government for the solar photovoltaic manufacture and users are around 100% depreciation in the first year of the installation of the system. No excess duty for manufacturers and low impact tariff for several raw material and components, and the soft loans to users, intermediaries and manufacturers provided by the government. And it has various advantages and various disadvantages. See, the installation maintenance is easy, and it won't create any noise, and therefore noise pollution is nil. And the system is favorable for fulfilling the requirement of electricity for decentralized application, longer life, and makes it favorable for remote, isolated, and forest and hill areas. And it is perennial, natural source and free, and plenty and non-polluting. And the greenhouse, there won't be any greenhouse effect, greenhouse gases. Now the biggest advantage is it avoids politics and price volatility that is increasingly characterizing fossil fuels in the market. See, when the case of diesel engine, or in the case of coal price rise, it may lead to a very big issue in among the people, and it can create it might be the topic for the discussion. But in the case of solar energy, it won't be a matter, and it does not result in the destruction of the forest and ecosystem, and that occurs with most fossil fuel operations. And when we are discussing about the advantage, it has its own disadvantage, and uncertainty of availability of solar energy due to cloud, wind, and rainfall, and large spaces are required for collection of solar energy, and the amount of sunlight that see here, we are trying to, we need light energy. We don't need the heat energy, we need light energy. The sunlight that arrives at the earth's surface is not constant, depends on the location, time and day, and the weather condition, and the initial investment of the solar system is huge. The solar system does not work at night time, therefore we need depend some other source, and the storage technology has not reached its potential yet. The solar panel are bulky, that is particularly true for the higher efficiency traditional silicon crystalline wafer solar models. There are various studies are going in solar energy, and see here, what might be the other disadvantage in solar energy. What do you think about the other disadvantage of solar energy? Being practical, what happened in various other countries, they started before 2 decades earlier. They are facing trouble with the solar system. What was the trouble is, they doesn't have any system for the recirculation or recycling of that solar panel. That might be the biggest issue today, and various developed countries are facing. How they will treat that the 20 years or 30 years panel, how they are going to recycle that panel. That might be the issue today. That is scopeful research. If you are interested, you go ahead with that content. Any doubts with the solar system? Any doubts with the solar PV cells? Shall I go ahead with the other contents? Ramanujam? Srinivasa Ramanujam. Ramanujam? Tejas Ram? Tejas Ram? Arun? Maitreyan?
Yes, sir.
Maitreyan, may audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any doubts with the solar system, solar cell?
No, sir.
Okay. Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is what the subsequent topic, that is biomass energy, which is organic material which has stored sunlight in the form of chemical energy. The biomass include wood, biofuel, and biogas. The bioenergy is generated when biomass is burned. The biomass is the term used for all material originated from photosynthesis. It includes plants, agriculture, and forest residual, biodegradable non-organic waste, and what was the principle is, the biogas is a gaseous fuel produced from the decomposition of biomass, such as the biological waste, cow dung, etc. The cobar gas, the cobar means cow dung. Cow dung, the gas produced from the cow dung is called as in gobar gas. The biogas is commonly referred to as gobar gas in India. In India, concerning the India, the biogas is commonly referred as gobar gas. The gobar gas plant, see, this is what the fuel, and this is what the gobar gas plant. See, the gobar gas plant, the infeed to the gobar gas plant includes cow dung, garbage, that is the urban wastage, and agriculture waste, animal waste, etc. When this in-feed is mixed with water and fermented, the fermentation is the process of chemical change in the organic matter which brought about living organism. What happened? The fermentation happening. Fermentation, as I detailed, what it might be, it might be the chemical change in the organic matter, which without the pressure of air, it produces a gaseous mixture, and this gaseous mixture contains 50 to 60% of methane and 30 to 35% of carbon dioxide, and it has other impurities, right? Hydrogen, nitrogen, nitrogen and etc. And this is what it is used as a fuel for cooking. And the material from which the biogas is produced is used as a fertilizer. And this is what the working principle of the biogas plant. See here we have the cylinder digester or a pit. We'll see one by one. The slurry is given as a feed here. We have the mixing tank, the ground level. This is what the ground level, the inlet chamber, dug and water mixture, and underground digester system. We have the digester system, the fixed dome type biogas. We have dome shape here, and the outlet chamber. We have the overflow tank here, and the slab provided, and the outlet for biogas. We have this system, and this is given as an input for cooking. And anyway, we will in detail we will discuss this in the tomorrow session. And here we are giving the input, and we are the output is attained from the outlet for biogas. This point, and we'll in detail we'll discuss the biogas plant in the tomorrow session. And yes, any other matter for discussion? I think for concerning A class, they were asked about CT1. Have you enquired with the representative Ankit? Josna?
Yes, sir.
Got the dates from section A, but nothing's informed yet.
Section A, when they are having CT1?
1 second, sir, I'll just check.
Pardon?
1 second, sir.
Are you ready to write the CT during Saturday?
As in day after tomorrow, sir?
Yes. Anyway, you have a conversation with that representatives. I'll make a query with the faculty who is handling.
So they have it on 17th May.
17th May.
Yeah.
That was so long. Anyway, we'll discuss through our group. We will discuss.
Okay, sir.
I'll make a query with the faculty.
Will the paper be descriptive or like MCQs only?
That I'll discuss. I'll tell you.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We'll continue our session during tomorrow. 10:30 we'll meet.